Dasyānudasyam evasmat pitāmahah Tīla bhavri natu swapitrayam yāt Uta kutabhyam padam niyamanam Bhagavataha paramiti Bhagavata parate Khalusya pitari Synonym. Jasya, of whom the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anudasyam, the service. Eva, certainly. Asmat, our. Pitamaha, grandfather. Kila, indeed. Bhabri, accepted. No, not. To, but. So, on. Pitrayam, Pitriyam. Paternal property. Yat, which. Uta, certainly. Akuta bhayam, fearlessness. Padam, position. Viyamanam, being offered. Bhagavataha, then the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Param, other. Iti, thus. Bhagavata, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Uparate, when killed. Khalu, indeed. So Pitari, his own father. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Bali Maharaj said, my grandfather Prahlad Maharaj is the only person who understood his own self-interest. Upon the death of Prahlad's father, Hiranyakasipu, Lord Nrsimhadev wanted to offer Prahlad his father's kingdom and even wanted to grant him liberation from material bondage. But Prahlad accepted neither liberation and material opulence. He thought that the obstacles to devotional service, and therefore such gifts from Supreme Personality of Godhead are not his actual mercy. Consequently, instead of accepting the results of karma and jnana, Prahlad Maharaj simply begged the Lord for engagement in the service of his servant. Please respond. Bali Maharaj said, my grandfather Prahlad Maharaj is the only person who understood his own self-interest. Upon the death of Prahlad's father, Hiranyakasipu, Lord Nrsimhadev wanted to offer Prahlad his father's kingdom and even wanted to grant him liberation from material bondage. But Prahlad accepted neither liberation and material opulence. He thought are the obstacles to devotional service. And therefore such gifts from Supreme Personality of Godhead are not his actual mercy. Consequently, instead of accepting the result of karma and jnana, Prahlad Maharaj simply begged the Lord for engagement in the service of his servant. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed that an unalloyed devotee should consider himself a servant of the servant of the servant of the Supreme Lord. Gopivattu pada kamalaya dāsa dāsa. In Vaishnava philosophy, one should not even become a direct servant. Prahlad Maharaj was offered all the blessings of an opulent position in the material world, even the liberation of merging into the Brahman. But he refused all this. He simply wanted to engage in the service of the servant of the Lord. Therefore, Bali Maharaj said that because his grandfather Prahlad Maharaj had rejected the blessings of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in terms of material opulence and liberation from the material bondage, he truly understood his self-interest. Amagyanatimirandasya jnana anjanasalakaya chakkuranimiletam jena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Tapitam Jena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanam Cha Irupam Sagrajatam Sagana Shri Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Ritam Shri Visakham Vitam Cha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यः वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna. So we are continuing this subject matter of how a pure devotees. Yesterday also we discussed how the pure devotee desire, how he do not want. So here he said that Bali Maharaj, that my grandfather, so when Hiranyakasipu, when Prahlad Maharaj, my grandfather Prahlad Maharaj, only person who understood this self-interest. Self-interest, the self-love, they say that. I was telling this is narcissism. The self-love they do not know. They are thinking that, oh, I am the body, I am looking so effulgent, I am good, self-appreciating, self-admiring. This is not actually self-interest. Therefore, devotees who do not have this understanding of what is our real self-interest, they go on asking something benediction in terms of like getting some material benefit, karma and jnana. But the pure devotee plea or consideration is different. When Hiranyakasipu, Nrsimhadev appeared to protect Prahlad Maharaj, Satyam Vidhatam Nijavuttvasitam Bhakticha Bhutesu Akilechu Atmanaha Duschati Adbhuta Rupam Udvahan Tambe Savayam Namurgam Naman. So 7, 8, 17. So he Lord Nrsimhadev, he appeared to keep this statement, substantiate the statement that Lord is all pervasive everywhere. So when he appears and killed Hiranyakasipu, that time Prahlad Maharaj offered prayers, very beautiful prayers, which is recorded in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, chapter 9 and 10. So one of the beautiful prayer that he offered benediction, because the Lord is called Varadaraj. Varadaraj means the best bestower of the best bestower of the benediction, blessings. There is a temple is there in Kanchipuram. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, South India travel, he went to this Kanchipuram. So he offered benedictions. Then the beautiful prayer by Prahlad Maharaj, he do not want these things. What he says that his consideration is that, my dear Lord, people in general want to be elevated to higher planetary system for a long duration of life, opulence, enjoyment. But I have seen all of this through the activities of my father. When my father was angry, he laughed sarcastically at the demigod. They were immediately vanquished simply by seeing the movement of his eyebrows. Yet my father was so powerful, has now been vanquished by you within a moment. So now question is that why Prahlad Maharaj do not want this benediction? Why the pure devotee they do not want? Because they know the self-interest. So here it is said that purport Prabhupada given a very wonderful purport, beautiful. Within this material world, one should understand by practical experience the value of material opulence, longevity, influence. We have actual experience that even on this planet, there have been many great politicians, military commander like Napoleon, Hitler, Subhash Chandra Bose, and Gandhi. But as soon as their lives were finished, their popularity, influence, everything else were finished also. Prahlad Maharaj formally gathered the same experience by seeing the activities of Hiranyakasipu, his great father. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj did not give any importance to anything in this material world. No one can maintain his body or material achievement forever. A Vaishnava can understand that nothing within this material world, not even that which is powerful, opulent, or influential, can endure. At any time, such things may be vanquished, and who can vanquish them? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should conclusively understand that no one is greater than Supreme Lord, since Supreme Personality of supreme great demand, sarva dharman parityajam mamekam saranam. So this is very nice proposal, that how nice consideration. So Prahlad Maharaj knows that everything is transient by nature in material world. So he do not want to accept that benediction which is very transient. Antavatatu palam tesam. So the antavata is a very temporary, transient by nature. So here it is saying that how the material world, people are after the icons, people are after the, very crazy, very obsessed, very passionate about the icons, the great person, very influential person. But this kind of influence, supposing Elon Musk, Ambani, or Donald Trump. So this kind of influence people are following. They are success role model, but they do not know that this so-called opulence, longevity, or so-called influence is very much transient by nature. That is very nicely stated in 331 to 3. Kapil Dev is very nicely explaining that the personality of Godhead says the mass cloud does not know the powerful influence of the wind. A person engaged in material consciousness does not know powerful strength of the time factor by which he is being carried. So everything is transient in matter of time. Krishna says, Kalosmi aham. I am the time. I am destroyer of everything. So time is most important. You may be great personality, but after some times it is oblivion. You are oblivion. Nobody will care for you. One time one German came to our book table during our Deepavali fair. Then he was a little bit curious. Then I asked curiosity, Hitler? No, Hitler is all primitive thing, backdated, all we do not care, oblivion. So we do not much follow, and neither we are so much concerned. So like Gandhi. So this is the thing. So here it is said that whatever is produced by materialistic with great pain, labor for so-called happiness, Supreme Personality, the Supreme Personality of the time factor destroys, and for this reason the conditioned soul laments. So they are trying hard. Everybody is trying to become successful. Everybody trying to earn money, accumulate money, emulate the material conditioning. So, but it's a matter of time. It will be time factor destroys everything. Jai Sisi Radha Madan Mohan Ki. So this is the time factor that destroys all the things. So howsoever the sophisticated environment, gorgeous arrangement we create, but the time factor destroys everything, taken away. So the pure devotee, they know for the pure devotee, they do not want this transient. They do not want this benediction which is lasting for a very few, transient, very temporary way. So therefore, Prabhupada is writing that they do not know that this span of life in a particular type of body is but a flash of eternal journey. Time is like a unlimited, infinite. And our time of 100 years is just like a dot, even not dot, half of the dot, even a small dot. And in that dot, in that small span of life, if we allow to be digressed our self-interest, that is the colossal loss. That is not a consideration. Therefore, the pure devotee, they do not go for this kind of benediction. They do not. Because the infinite time and our time is very small, very, very, very dot-like, very, very infinite small. Anytime anything can happen. Any moment, you cannot say. And therefore, we should not unnecessarily waste time and divert it from the self-interest. We should expedite. Procrastination is a thief of time. More you procrastinate, more you become entangled. The misguided materialistic does not know that his very body is impermanent, that attraction of home, land, wealth, which are in relationship to that body are also temporary. Out of ignorance, only think that everything is permanent. That is what Hiranyakasipu. So Prahlad Maharaj giving a practical experience, that I have got a practical experience. My father got the benediction from the Brahma, almost immortal. I cannot die up, down, I cannot die morning, evening, I cannot die by any weapon, any human being, any this, any that. So, but Lord is more intelligent. He cannot become immortal. Nobody can immortal. No. Despite our tenacious determination to stay in this material world permanently, at the dispense of material nature, nobody can stay here. Everybody will be ejected. Ejected from this or ejected from this temporary platform. So therefore, this he got all kind, almost immortal. Is so much, but Narsimha come Dushchati Adbhuta Rupam. You cannot see this kind of rupa in Jew or anywhere. It's such a wonderful activity. Adbhuta Karmana. Harer Adbhuta Karmana. Therefore, there are the beautiful verses that how this Varahadev also come. The very nice verses in 11th canto. He says that Sravanam Kirtanam Dhanam Harer Adbhuta Karmana Janma Karma Gunanam Chatadatte Akila Chestata. Very nice verse. Sravanam Kirtanam Dhanam. One should hear, glorify, meditate upon the wonderful transcendental activity of the Lord. One should specially become absorbed in the appearance, activities, and quality of the holy name. See, this is very nice. Daily activity. One should perform all of one's daily activity as an offering to the Lord by glorifying his wonderful activity. Adbhuta Karmana. So here it is said that all this materialistic, like Hiranyakasipu, he was thinking, I am immortal, I have got influence, longevity, influence, opulence, and so much things. So, but within a moment, everything is lost. And also Prabhu was telling how before the war start, Kurukshetra, this Parikshit, this Pandavas, Yudhishthira Maharaj, they do not have anything, no resources, even a pinch of land, needles of land also. Krishna asked for, I want some land. So I do not, Duryodhana say, I do not want to give a land which is covers the even a needle's point. They did not have anything. Therefore, Duryodhana in the very second verses, he was very fearful, doubtful. I have usurped all the kingdom. They do not have any financial resources. How they can gather all this army, military army? So he was very fearful. He is covering fear and he is approaching his Drona. Dushtamam Pandavanikam. By seeing all this arrangement, he was very fearful that how they can arrange. So there was nothing was there financial. But within 18 days, and Yudhishthira Maharaj was made the emperor of the world. Prithvipate, emperor of the world. That is the difference. Krishna 18 days can give everything. So therefore, this materialistic, they are thinking that, oh, this is like, permanent, everything. But nothing is permanent. The Prahlad Maharaj is also saying this. Same thing. Prahlad Maharaj saying that very nice verse. 39. Prahlad Maharaj is saying that one's riches, beautiful wife, female friends, one's son, daughters, one's residence, one's domestic animals like cows, elephants and horses, one's treasury, economic development, sense gratification. Indeed, even the lifetime in which one can enjoy all this material opulence are certainly temporary and flickering. Since the opportunity of human life is temporary, what benefit can this material opulence give to a sensible man who has understood himself to be eternal? So therefore, the pure devotee, they understood their self-interest, that I am eternal, Lord is eternal. My eternal business is to engage in the service of the Krishna. Sanatan Dharma. Prabhupada was defining Sanatan Dharma. His Lord is Sanatan, we are Sanatan. His Dham is Sanatan. When Sanatan living entity engage in the Sanatana God, in Sanatan Dham, that is called Sanatana Dharma. Here it is same thing, Prahlad Maharaj, that who knows the eternal and who knows the self-interest, they do not know, they do not want all the things, because all the riches, everything will be taken away. It's a matter of time. It's temporary, flickering. He's continuing with us. With that, he is telling that all these things, he thinks that it is learned from Vedic literature that by performing great sacrifice, one may elevate himself to the heavenly planet. However, although life on the heavenly planet is 100 and 1,000 of times more comfortable than life on the earth, heavenly planets are not pure, nirmalam, We used to quote 11,399, heavenly planet problem. So here it is saying that, here also it is spoken by the Prahlad Maharaj. Free from the taint of material existence. The heavenly planets are also temporary. Therefore, they are not the goal of life. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, has never seen or had to possess inebriety. Consequently, for your own benefit and self-realization, you must worship Lord with great devotion as described in the revealed scriptures. So that is, Prahlad Maharaj understood that even the heavenly kingdom, all the material opulence, everything is temporary. Therefore, when Nrsimhadev is offering benediction, he told, no, sorry, I do not want this thing. I have seen practically my father, the champion of materialistic, within a moment you come, you rip apart. Kesavadita, Naraharirupa. Is Nakam, Padanaka, you immediately, like a crossing a wasp, you cross and you've taken away everything. So I do not want that kind of transient benefit. So he is continuing very nicely. He told this, that he is continuing that how the temporary nature of this material world. A materialistic person thinking himself very advanced in intelligence, continually act for economic development. But again and again, as enunciated in Vedas, is frustrated by material activity, either in this life or in next. Indeed, the result one obtains are inevitably the opposite of those one desires. Usually it is opposite. Even after somehow and other you think you are success, that also will be taken away. That's also taken away. Everybody is now trying, planning how to ameliorate, how to increase our material conditioning. Everybody is endeavoring. The next verse is telling that everybody looking for happiness. They want to ameliorate their material condition. Sukhaya dukkha mokkhaya sankalpa iha karminaha. He says that in this material world, every materialistic desire to active happiness diminishes distress. Therefore, he acts accordingly. Actually, however, one is happy as long as one does not endeavor for happiness. As soon as one begins his activity for happiness, his conditions of distress begin. So the so-called happiness is actually Maya Sukhaya Bharam. Maya Sukha is very transient by nature. Therefore, he tells, what is the use of all the things? No use of all this material happiness. He telling very nice word, this one. Since the body itself ultimately meant to become stool or art, what is the meaning of paraphernalia related to body such as wives, residence, wealth, children, relatives, servant, friends, kingdom, treasure, animals, minister? They are also temporary. What more then can be said about this? So today verse also Bali Maharaj is referring, my grandfather Prahlad Maharaj, he understood the transient nature of this so-called opulences, longevity of life, that can be taken away. So he does not want to accept that kind of benediction. So the next verse is saying that all this paraphernalia is very near and dear as long as the body exists. But as soon as the body is destroyed, all things related to body are also finished. Therefore, actually, one has nothing to do with them. But because of ignorance, one accepts them as a valuable. Compared to the ocean of eternal happiness, they are most insignificant. What is the use of such insignificant relation for the eternal living beings? The insignificant as compared to Prahlad Maharaj understood. Therefore, the pure devotee never asked for this benediction. They do not accept that. Because it is very insignificant as compared to Durba Maharaj also same thing. Kacham vichinman, Divya Ratnam. It is very insignificant and also it's a transient by nature. So people do not know that they self-interest. They are planning for this. And Lord Shiva spoke very nicely. How these people, they do not know anything. They are planning after planning. But they do not know the transient nature of material, this material opulences. My dear Lord, all the living entity within this material world are mad after planning for things. This is the case. They are always busy with desire to do this or that. This is due to uncontrollable greed. The greed for material enjoyment is always existing in living entity. But your Lordship is all, and in due course of time, you strike him just as a snake seizes a mouse, very easily swallow him. They do not know. They are thinking, oh, everybody is very complacent. I'm earning, I'm good salary, I'm citizen, Singapore PR. But they do not know any time things will be different. Things will be adverse. Therefore, pure devotees, they know that all the things. They know this this kind of temporary nature. Prahlad Maharaj is teaching to his peers that how the transient nature, you should not go after this, you should engage in devotional service. The same thing has been reiterated. A man obeys with thought of what he thinks need to be done, intensely greedy, delighting in sense enjoyment. It suddenly confronted you. You are ever alert, like a hungry snake licking his fangs before a mouse, you appear before him as a death. Murtu sarva rasa chaham. Everything will be taken away. All your position, assets, association, everything. They do not know that. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj, when he was offered this kind of benediction, so he told very nice prayer. He told, my Lord, I am not a businessman. I am not doing transaction with you. So there is a nice two verses there. Oh my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant. You are my eternal master. There is no need of our being anything other than master and servant. You are naturally my master. I am naturally your servant. You have no other relationship. He do not want the transaction. Nivera Swarupe Nitya Krishna Dasa. That is the eternal, we are eternal servant of the Lord. That's it. There is no other thing. And Krishna is the Bhaktaram Jagyam Tapasam Sarvalokom Maheshwara. He is the beneficiary of all our sacrifice. That is only relation this. That is the natural position of the Lord, and natural position of the living being is to surrender to Him. That's all. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj rejected the benediction, material benediction offered. Oh my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to be, see a very nice benediction. Oh my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there will be no material desire. So he telling, no, you want really I want to take some material desire, material opulence. He told I should not have material desire. So this is the thing. No material desire, because this material desire is impediment for our devotional service. Therefore, pure devotee rejects, outrightly rejects. No, I do not want. Outrightly rejects. This is impediments. There are very nice verse is there. How it is very impediments. Here it is said that this verse Brahma is praying, oh my Lord, the material misery are without factual existence for the soul. Yet as long as conditioned soul sees the body as a meant for sense enjoyment, he cannot get out of the entanglement of material misery, being influenced by your external energy. So as long as we are after the sense enjoyment, then we cannot get out. So therefore, Prahlad Maharaj, he wants that I should not have any material desire. Material desire will obstruct us, is an impediment. Such non-devotee engage their senses in very troublesome, extensive work, thus they suffer insomnia at night, because their intelligence constantly breaks their sleep with various mental speculations. They are frustrated in all their various plans for supernatural power. Even great says, if they are against your transcendental topics, must rotate in this one. So all this karmi, jnani, everything, and the siddhi, supernatural power, mystic yoga, all are there asanta, because they have some material desire. This is spoken by the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami. Kami means that desire, material. They have some got material desire. And Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta immediately reject. No, I do not have. This is my benediction. Please give me some benediction. I should not have any material desire. Krishna Bhakta Niskama Ateva Santa Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakali Asanta. Because the devotee of Lord Krishna is desireless, is peaceful. Foodie workers desire material enjoyment. Jnani desire liberations. Yogis desire material opulence, like mystic power, supernatural power. Therefore, they are all lusty and cannot be peaceful. As long as we have this material desire for sense enjoyment, we create another body. That is Narada Muni also saying, how we create, why we create another body. Because the process is like this. The process is like this, that as long as we desire to enjoy sense gratification, we create material activities. When living entity acts in material field, he enjoys the senses. While enjoying the senses, he creates another series of material activities. That's why we are entangled in karmic reaction. In this way, living entity become entrapped as a conditioned soul. How we become conditioned? This is because we have got lost the desire. By human birth, we have got lost the desire. But from the beginning, actually, you say that by beginning, everybody has got this kind of thing. Simply by material birth, human being become attached within their mind to personal sense gratification, long duration of life, sense activity, bodily strength, sexual potency, friends and family. Their minds are thus absorbed in that which defeat their actual self-interest. Today, the topic is self-interest. Prahlad Maharaj knows the self-interest, but here they do not know. They are so much attached to sense gratification that defeats our self-interest. Self-deceiving is self-defeating. It's like self-deceiving ourselves. We do not know we are after all this kind of thing. Therefore, when Sanat Kumar was preaching to the Prithu Maharaj, he said this very nice things, that when one mind and senses are attracted to sense object for enjoyment, the mind becomes agitated. As a result, continually thinking of sense enjoyment, one real consciousness almost becomes lost. Like the water in a lake that is gradually sucked up by big grass, straw on its bank. So this is a very nice technical process. How by the thinking of sense enjoyment, our real consciousness has been lost. The next verses is Prabhu used to quote, soul is lost. How the soul is lost. When one deviates from his original consciousness, he loses capacity to remember his previous position, recognize his present one. When one remembrance is lost, all knowledge acquired is based on a false foundation. That false foundation means material opulence is all in all. The thinking like this. When this occurs, learned scholar consider that soul is lost. This verse is, I forget, where it says that they are thinking that this material opulence is all in all. There's nothing beyond that. This is the thing. So, in this way, the soul is lost. Therefore, pure devotees consideration, they know that. So, they immediately, you see Dhruva Maharaj's case. Dhruva Maharaj is repenting. He also initially had that mindset that I want to get bigger opulence, bigger kingdom than my grandfather Brahma also. So he is now praying. He realized all this pure devotee, their consideration is different. So he realized person who worship you simply for sense gratification, for this bag of skin, are certainly influenced by your illusory energy. In spite of having you who are like a desire tree, are the cause of liberation from birth and death. Foolish persons such as me desire benediction from you for sense gratification, which is available even for those who live in hellish condition. Hellish condition also. Therefore, he do not want. Satyavarta Muni also praying, Varam Deva Mokhyam Na Mokhyam Badim Nachanayam Baneham Varesa. So, Varam Deva, I do not want any vex. Mokhya, Mokhya Adi. Even 9 process of devotional service, all this is rejected. Those who live in hellish condition. And therefore, he is saying that same thing Prahlad Maharaj say that it is very insignificant as compared to devotional service is so great. As compared to devotional service, all this material opulence is very insignificant and it is transient by nature. So, my Lord, the transcendental bliss derived from the meditating upon your lotus feet or hearing about your glories from pure devotee is so unlimited that is far beyond the stage of Brahmananda. We usually quote 7.737 purport. But here also, Dhruva Maharaj quotes that the devotional service is unlimited, is far beyond the stage of Brahmananda, where one thinks himself more than the impersonal Brahman as one is supreme. Such since Brahmananda is also defeated by the transcendental bliss derived from devotional service. And then what to speak of the temporary blissfulness of the elevating oneself to the heavenly planet, which is ended by separating sword of time. See? Although one may be elevated to the heavenly planet, he falls down the course of time. So all these things in course of time, everything will be taken up. Time factor is very important. There's so many verses in this, 329, 38, how the time factor is there. There's a beautiful verses on the time factor. It says that that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, certainly not known to everyone, but he is very powerful and influential. Therefore, although the serpent of eternal time, which is fearful in force, endlessly chase everyone, ready to swallow him, if one fears this serpent, seeks shelter of the Lord, then Lord gives him protection. For even the death runs away in fear of the Lord. I therefore surrender unto him, the great and powerful Supreme Authority, who is actual shelter of everyone. So the influence of time very powerful. Everything will be taken away. Therefore, they know, these people, they know all the things. Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Pruthu Maharaj, they know. So in their prayer, you can see they do not want anything, but they want to be. Here he say, Prahlad Maharaj is very nicely placed. Dhruva Maharaj, O unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate with great devotee who engage in your transcendental. So today, words also, he say that, then sir, you do not want, like Satyavarta Muni, he is praying Varam Deva Mokhyamna, you do not want this, you do not want that. Actually, what you want? So what you want means I may associate with great devotee who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly. As the waves of the river constantly flow, so the transcendental devotee are completely situated in an uncontaminated state of life. By the process of devotional service, I is surely able to cross the inner of ocean of material existence, which is filled with waves of blazing fire like danger. Same thing yesterday class, Nityananda Trayodasi, blazing fire. We are now burning in blazing fire like dangers. How to get out? By taking shelter of the Lord through the process of taking shelter of his pure devotee, Nityananda Prabhu. Otherwise, one cannot. There's another verse Prabhu was showing that Nityananda Prabhu is this spiritual master is the representative of Nityananda, 11, 17, 27 purport, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. A representative of Nityananda Prabhu, an associate of Radharani. So through them only we can go. To receive the mercy of Nityananda, we should receive the mercy of spiritual master. Through him, he can get the mercy. And by mercy of Nityananda, we can get mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And therefore, today verses also, the self-interest to become Gottu Kapada Kamalaya dasa, no dasa. We should place ourselves not at the shelter of the Lord, but shelter of the Lord's, not direct servant, servant of the servant of the servant. So it will be very easy for me. I am becoming mad to hear about the transcendental quality pastime which are eternally. So every devotee, Dhruva Maharaj, now we can go to Prahlad Maharaj also. Prahlad Maharaj also praying the same thing. The next verses 7, 9, 24, 23 we showed that how his practical experience. The next verse, my dear Lord, now I have a complete experience concerning the worldly opulence, mystic power, longevity, other material pleasure enjoyed by all living entities. From Lord Brahma down to the ant, as powerful time, you destroy them all. Abrahma Bhuvanala Loko Unavartina Arjuna. Therefore, because of my experience, I do not wish to possess them. My dear Lord, I request you to place me in touch with a pure devotee again. Let me serve him as a sincere servant. Speaking about Narada Muni. In another 4 verses, 7, 9, 28, he is saying, how can I live Narada Muni? Pure devotee. How can I live this shelter of Narada? So here it is saying same thing. See, you see, there's a commonality of the prayers of all the pure devotees throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam. They understood the self-interest to place. They do not want directly get the devotional service. That is not possible. You cannot, you had neither approach Krishna directly as yesterday Prabhu showed 11:28. Name Bhakta Jana Partha. So, Madhavakta Naam Jo Me Bhakta Tame Bhakta Tamamatam. My devotee of my devotee is my actual devotee. Another places also it is said that you cannot directly go. It is only possible by going through. Prayana Bhakti Jogena Sas Sangena Vinoduddhava. Napaya Vidyate Samyak Pranayamahi Satamaham. Yesterday also we showed these verses purport, how the blazing fire. My dear Uddhava, I am personally the ultimate shelter and way of life for saintly liberated person. Thus, if one does not engage in my loving devotional service, which is made possible by associating with my devotees, see, then for all practical purposes, one possesses no effective means for escaping from material existence. We cannot directly, you can get devotional service directly, no. Mahatma Kurpa Vina. Without Mahatma Kurpa, one cannot get the devotional service. Same thing also stated in this. Mahatma Kurpa Vina, Kono Karme Bhakti Naya, Krishna Bhakti Dure Ro Sansara Naya Kaya. So without Mahatma Seva, without devotees, it is not possible. It is not possible to possible. Therefore, all this devotee prayer, you see the prayers, you should learn the different prayers and very important verses. So if you see Dhruva Maharaj, we go to third canto. Third canto, Kapil Dev is telling, Satang Prasangam Mama Veera Sambindha. He again is telling that devotees, I want the devotee association. Satang Prasangam Mama Veera Sambindha Bhavanti Utkanna Rasayana Kathaha Tajjasanaga Sopavarga Vartamani Sadaratir Bhaktir Anukramsa. Again, same thing. Is saying that in the association of pure devotee, discussion of pastime activities of Supreme Krishna to Godhead is very pleasing, satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually become advanced in the path of liberation. Thereafter is freed, the attraction become feast, real devotion, devotional service. That is Kapil Dev, third canto. Third canto also many verses. Let's go to fourth canto. We have already seen Dhruva Maharaj. Fourth canto also we have a prayer of Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj praying. 420, 25, 24, 420, 31. You will have quoted one time. 31. What the benediction they ask. My dear Lord, you are glorified by selected verses uttered by great personality. Such glorification of a lotus feet just like a saffron particle. When the transcendental vibration from the mouth of a great devotee carries the aroma of the saffron lotus feet, the forgetful living entity gradually remembers his eternal relationship with you. Devotee thus gradually come to the right conclusion about the value of life. My dear Lord, I therefore do not need any other benediction, but opportunity to hear from the mouth of a pure devotee. That is whole idea. If you want to execute yourself, it's not possible. Prabhupada is writing this purport very nice. The Dhruva Maharaj prayer, he wanted to hear also from the pure devotee. Prabhupada said that from the statement by Dhruva Maharaj, it is clear that unless one is associated with devotee, his devotional service does not mature. It does not become distinct from material activity. Lord says Satang Pasangam. Only in the association of pure devotee can the word of Lord Krishna can be fully potent, realizable to the heart and ear. Dhruva Maharaj explicitly wanted the association of devotees. That association in devotional activity is just like a waves in an incessantly flowing river. So he's saying that if anybody thinking that he want to separately do this, he is in hallucination. That also Prabhupada says in this purport. Anybody wants separately do this program without association of devotee, he is hallucination. Somewhere in this purport only he said. And he also said that you may be, Mayavadi may ask, you are very happy with the association of devotee. But association of devotee is not chit-chatting, gossiping, and all that. You may be very happy in the association of devotee. But what is the plan for crossing the ocean of material existence? Dhruva Maharaj said that it is not very difficult. He clearly said that this ocean can be crossed very easily if one simply become mad to hear the glories of Lord. Bhagavad Guna Katha. For anyone who persistently engage in hearing the topics of the Lord from Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, who is actually addicted to this process, just as one became addicted to the intoxicant, it is very easy to cross the science of material. Therefore, we always say, at least Saturday, Sunday, you can come and attend the class. Addicted, otherwise you cannot. You cannot buy the house program, this program, Sunday program, without hearing that. Simply this program, that program will not work. Association of devotee will have to be very nice, sattvic entertainment. That is sattvic entertainment, but it will not, give you chance to go back to Godhead. We have to hear Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. So this is Prithu Maharaj praying. And Lord Shiva, after that in fourth canto also, Lord Shiva also is praying the association. He is giving example that how by association. by association. My dear Lord, your lotus feet are the cause of all auspicious things, the destroyer of all contamination. I therefore beg your Lordship to bless me by the association of your devotees. Lord Shiva is example. He himself is, Lord Shiva position is very high. In between a marginal position, in between Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva, is not, who are completely purified by worshipping your lotus feet, who are so merciful upon the conditioned soul. I think your real benediction will be to allow me to associate with such devotee. Today also was the actual mercy means blessing, asking the Lord to blessing the shelter of your servant of the servant. Gopi Bhartu Pada Kamala. See, Prabhupada is also very nice purport writing how this Lord Shiva is showing such unalloyed devotee are able to show mercy to the common conditioned soul. So Lord Shiva is giving an example, although he is very Vaishnava Jatasam, is giving example in that how one should take shelter. Then Purthumaras we have already seen 422, Purthumaras 420-25. Then we can go to Prachetas. Prachetas is 430. Prachetas also praying. What is that verse that 430-34, I think. Tulyama lavenepi. See, this verse is quoted 3 times. Tulyama lavenepi na sorgam na purbhavam bhagavat sangi sangasya. Martayam kim utasisaha. Even a moment association within a pure devotee cannot be compared to being transferred to heavenly planet, even merging into the Brahman effulgence in complete liberation. For living entity was destined to give up body and die, association with pure devotee. The highest benediction, again same thing. The highest benediction is the association of pure devotee. Therefore, it says that Dullabha Manusya Janma Ehinam Chalamangura Tatrapita Dullabha Vaikuntha Priya Darsanam. Very, very rare. Once you get it, the highest benediction. Not that you should go to the Lord and asking, this is the class of devotee. The pure devotee, they do not know ultimate, their self-interest. They know what is the ultimate goal of life, ultimate benefit. They come to the Lord. They do not ask anything. Nadanam najanam sundarim kavitam jagadisakame mama janmani chare bhavatat. That bhakti only made possible by taking shelter of the bhakta. Must. Even if you are advanced also, you must take shelter of the association of devotee. He says that even after one is advanced, Krishna bhakti janma mulya hoye sadhu sangha, Krishna prema janme tena punna mukhya anga. See, 4 panchanga bhakti is there, 5 potent limbs out of 64. But here, mukhya anga. That also telling that time. Out of all 5, devotee association is very important. So I was searching where this verse is there. Sometime Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati write an article, he told some chanting. Is there, you can search. Chanting is mukhya anga out of 5. But here it says that root cause of devotional service to Lord Krishna in association with advanced devotee. Even one wants dharma love for Krishna, we can association of devotee is still most essential. Then in 5th canto also, Rahugana and all, so they are also praying the same thing. That in 5th canto, even this is also start with 5:12 also, 5:12-13. So no, 5:12, 5:12-13 also right. In the association of pure devotee, so that is, but 12:12 is better, because 12:12 it says that Oganetum tapasa najati nachajya. This is another thing. The perfectional stage of devotional service, goal of life can be attained unless is blessed by the dust of the feet of great devotee. That is also Prahlad Maharaj is praying. So again in 5:18-11, you can see that he say that very nice word. This one, he says that yes sangalabda nijavirya vaibhavam. Yes sangalabda. By associating the person of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mukunda is all in all. One can hear of his powerful activities, soon come to understand them. The activities of Mukunda are so potent that simply by hearing them, one immediately associates with Lord. For a person who constantly and very eagerly hears the narration of the Lord's powerful activities, the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead in the form of sound vibration, enter within his heart, cleanses it all the contamination. On the other hand, although bathing in Ganges diminishes bodily contamination and infection, this process of visiting holy place can cleanse the heart only after a long time. Therefore, who is the sane man who will not associate with devotee quickly to perfect his life? See? There's a verse is there where if you associate with a devotee, you will go in this life also. In this life, you can go back to God. In this life, you can go back to God. I think this was, no, 5:18. Where is this verse? In this life, you can go back to God. 5, what is that verse? In this life, you associate with the Lord. In this life, no need to, 5:12, 5:12, 18. 5:11, 12. No. 5, 12, 16, 16, 18, 18, I was thinking. Here it is said that simply by giving up association with worldly people, associating with exalted devotee, again, anyone can attain perfection of knowledge within the sword of knowledge can cut into piece of illusory association within this material part. Yesterday also Nityananda Mahaprabhu, na I am Atmabalena hina. Without Atmabala spiritual strength, one cannot go back to Godhead. That Atmabala coming from the source of spiritual strength in Nityananda. Achutya Bala, spiritual strength. Through the association of devotee, one can engage in the service of the Lord by hearing, chanting, Savanam, Kirtanam. Thus one can revive his dormant Krishna consciousness, sticking to the cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Return home back to Godhead. Even in this life. Even in this life. No more procrastination. Even in this life, one can go back to Godhead. So in 6th canto also, if you see Ajamila, 6th canto is only Ajamila, I think, no? Chitraketu is there. Ajamila is there. So here also he say that 6th canto, I don't know what verses for the association of devotee. It's very Gurtasura thing is so many Chatursloki, second Chatursloki they say that. Even you see there's a verse where purport Prabhupada is writing 6:11:22, I think. No, 20 purport light purport is that 6:11:23, where the Indra, see now Indra topics is going on. Indra is also a devotee, but why Lord has given special mercy for unalloyed devotee is that Lord saves him from all hard labor to achieve the result of religion, economic development, sense gratification. Of course, if one such benefit, Lord constantly award them. Indra, for example, although a devotee, was not much interested in release from material bondage. Instead, he desired sense gratification and high standard of material happiness in the heavenly planet. Vritasur, see the difference between Indra and Vritasur. However, being an unalloyed devotee, aspire only to solve the supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, Lord arranged for him go back to Godhead after his bodily bondage was destroyed by Indra. Vritasur requested Indra to release his thunderbolt against him as soon as possible, so that both he and Indra would benefit according to the proportionate advancement in devotion. Although both are devotee, one is unalloyed devotee. Both are getting benefit according to their Jayathamang Prapanjante Adrisi Sadda Aktir Bhavdita, according to their things. And Bhuttasura is this Chatushloki Bhuttasura, very, very important prayer. Very nice. Oh my Lord, O Supreme Personality of God, and may I again able to be a servant of your eternal servant. See, today is the same thing. And who finds shelter only at your lotus feet. O Lord of my life, may I again become their servant, so that my mind may always think of your transcendental attribute. My word always glorify those attributes. My body always engage in the loving service. Seventh canto already we have discussed 7, 9, 24. 7, 9, 28 also. 7, 9, 28 is also is saying that that how I should not, my dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because my association with material desire one after another has gradually falling into blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narada Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple, instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How would I leave this? So many verses, 7th canto also. And the 8th canto is about Bali Maharaj. So, 8th canto where? 8th canto. 8th canto, 9th canto. So, in this way, every canto you see, there is an association of devotees is very important. Association of devotee. Even the Brahma is praying, I want to be grass so that I will be trampled. No. 10, 14, 33. I want to be grass. No. 10, 32, I think. What is it? 34 or 31? Anyway, Brahma is praying, then this our Uddhava is praying, Bande Nanda Braja Strinam Padarenu Avikshana, Bande Nanda Braja Strinam. So everybody looking for the devotee association. Even Mukunda Mala also, Mukunda Mala you see, Jai Sisi Radha Madan. We will, with 2 verses, we will conclude this one. Mukunda Mala, Naham Bande Tava Charanara Gandham Agandha Hetaha. So here very nice verse. Say, O Lord Hari, it is not to be said from duality of material existence or dream of tribulation of the Kumbhapaka, hell, that I pray to your feet. Nor is my purpose to enjoy soft-skinned beautiful women, reside in the garden of heaven. I pray to your lotus feet only so that I may remember you alone in the core of my heart. And in that remembrance also, he prayed a very nice verse. He prayed that Mada Janma Phalamidam Madhu Kaitabare Mada Parthaniya Mada Anugraha Esaiva Tad Bhutya Bhutya Paricharaka Bhutya Bhutya Bhuttasya Bhutya Itimam Smarana Lokanath. 7 times servant of the servant. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 3 times, 7 times. O enemy of Madhu Kaitava, Lord of the universe, the perfection of life, the most cherished mercy you could show me would be for you to consider me servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. See, Gopi Bhattu Pada Kamala Thanane. Very startling for his repetition of the word servant 7 times. One can almost picture all the servant of the Lord whom Kulasekara wishes to serve. Direct servant is Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani, Lord Balaram, other Gopi cowherd boy. Some of the gopis cowherd are assistant of the direct servant, Manjaris. In this way, he is asking like servant of the servant of the servant. Of course, here, whosoever purport it, he is writing, Prabhupada is in the 11th spiritual generation of that Chaitanya Sampradaya. After that, he should stop here. No more. He is not writing other guru and all. Purport. So this is what? This is parampara system. So therefore, the ultimate goal of the life, if achieved only by placing Prabhupada used to say, when you are connected to the parampara, by association of devotee under the shelter of the servant of the servant of the servant, then your fortune position starts. Your fortunate position. That is actually called what is that called bhakti unmitika, pious. Piety comes with that. Krishna says that, Prabhupada was giving lecture, Krishna 7:28 say that you can approach me antagatam papam, jananam punya karmanam. Prabhupada say how to get punya karmana. Punya karmana can be achieved by associating with the devotees. And hear from that. That is called, Bhakti Vinod Thakur say, 22:45, that bhakti unmukha, sukruti. That is called bhakti unmukha. That sikruti one get, then one can get the association of devotee. So we will end with the beautiful verses from Kulasekara. Sorry, not Kulasekara, beautiful verses from Muchukunda. Muchukunda is saying very nice verses here. Muchukunda says that dhava, this also, I think this is there in CC also, in 22. So he says that when the material life of a wandering soul has ceased, or achutta, he may attain the association of a devotee. When he associates with them, therefore awakens in him devotion unto him, who are the goal of devotee, Lord of all causes their effect. Here Jiva Goswami say that, and Vishwanath Chakravarti agreed on that following point. Although it is stated here, when material life ceases, one attains the association of devotee. Actually, this is not the thing. In the fact, it is the association of Lord devotee that enables one to transcend material existence. So Jiva Goswami explained that apparent inversion of sequence by quoting the Kavya Prakasa as follows, that a statement in which the logical order of a cause and its effects is reversed should be understood as atisayakti, emphasis by extreme assertion. So Jiva Goswami cited following commentary on the statement that to express the swift action of a course, one may assert the result before the cause. It's so fast, so that this, result is coming before the cause. Association of devotee is so potent, the result is coming, here the statement of Muchukunda, the result is coming before the cause, because the swiftness, very swift. So therefore, association of this is the ultimate self-interest. Self-interest means nate viddu sarthagati. Self-interest means how to understand Supreme Lord, how to go back to Him through the process of surrendering to the servant of disciplic succession, parampara, to placing ourselves in the shelter of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, it is impossible. We cannot escape. Impossible. So we yesterday quote that it is impossible to escape. There is another verse Prabhu used to quote 11:11:25, that satsanga, satsanga labdha bhaktya. That one who has obtained pure devotional service by association with my devotee, again repetition, thus very easily goes to my abode, which is revealed by my pure devotees. You try to understand that revelation will not come. Dasa deve parabhakti jatha deve tatha guru. Dasasti katitai arthat prakasante mahatma. Without that, one want to study yourself is no way. One cannot get out from ignorance. 11:22:10 cannot. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Jivera nistara lagi Krishna koilo Veda Purana. Jivera nistara lagi Maya Mugdha Jivera nahi swartha Krishna gana Krishnara Urpaya koilo Veda Purana. And that Veda Puranas can be understood by the process of taking shelter of the devotees, super soul. This is also the next verses, Sisi Madhya. Krishna says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching to Sanatana Goswami, Varanasi, this is Varanasi in for 2 months actually. He spoke this one very nicely. The next verse 122, that Maya Mugdha Jivara. The next verse is saying the same thing, that Shastra Guru Atma Rupe Apanara Janana Krishna Moro Prabhu Tartata Jivera Hoy Jnana. The forgetful conditioned soul is educated by Krishna through the Vedic literature, the realized spiritual master, and the super soul. Though through these he can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is. He can understand that Lord Krishna is the eternal master, deliverer from the clutches of Maya. In this way, one can acquire the real knowledge of his conditioned life, can come to understand how to attain liberation. Therefore, how important the association of devotee. Therefore, pure devotee do not want all the things, because they know that Vedic literature give information about living entity, eternal relationship with Krishna, which is called Sambandha Jnana. The living entity understanding of this relationship accordingly and acting accordingly is called Avidya. And returning back to Godhead is ultimate goal of life, is called Prayojana. So the devotees know, pure devotees know all these things. Why? Because they have placed under the shelter of another pure devotee. So as a result, they understood the ultimate goal of life, to go back to Godhead. So they are not interested in this trivial benediction, trivial material benediction. No. So they reject. Every pure devotee, their prayer, they have rejected all the things. Parikshit Maharaj also 119, 15 and 16. 16, he told, no, I do not want. Canto 1, Canto 2, everywhere. I do not want. Kunti Mataji also Canto 1, Kunti Devi. Kunti Mataji. Kunti Devi also, same thing praying. I do not, I want to cut off the relationship with all Pandava and all. So in this way, therefore the conclusion is that we should know our self-interest to place under the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord in order to achieve the highest perfection, that is going back to Godhead and associating with Supreme Lord. Nitya Pada Vina, that Nahi Radha Krishna na paye. No? Therefore, without Nityananda Prabhu, one cannot understand. Ara kabe Nitai Chanda Karuna hoibe, Sansara Vasana moro kabe tuchha hobe. The Sansara Vasana cannot go out without Sansara Vasana, we cannot approach Krishna. Desante Antagatam Papam. Only we get rid of all these things, then only we can approach. Therefore, what is that? Vishaya Chadiya kabe Suddha hobe mano, kabe hama herabo Sri Vrindavan. Real Vrindavan you want to go to see when you have Vishaya Chadiya. Not that Vrindavan can go by having a flight ticket and go to Vrindavan. No, you cannot really enter into the Vrindavan. Rupa Raghunatha Pade hoibe akuti kabe hama bujhava jugal. Without taking shelter of the literature of Rupa Raghunath, one cannot go back to Godhead. One cannot understand Radha Krishna Conjugala. Very confident. Therefore, the spiritual master actually Bhaktilata Bij means one comes in contact with the books of Srila Prabhupada. He impregnates the seeds. That is real thing. Bhaktilata Bij means how a pure devotee is placed Bhaktilata by reading his book. His book is actually Bhaktilata Bij. When you come in contact with that, real Bhaktilata will come. I mean, will spout in our heart. The book is very merciful. Thank you very much. If you have any question, any comment, feedback. Yeah. Yes, correct. There are so many things here. According to this one verse, he says that Sojati. Devotees should discern who is following, who is not following. We should take, if there is no facilities of their Bapu association, actually then they should take shelter of the Bani association. Like they do not have physical, like ISKM is not there in some places. Who left? But Prabhupada is saying that anybody who wants to practice separately without association of devotee, his devotional service does not mature. He is in hallucination. So we have to take shelter of the hearing your classes remotely, because Bani is not about physical presence. A devotee should always try to hear about spiritual matters, should always utilize his time in chanting the holy name of the Lord. His behavior should always straightforward and simple. Although he is not envious but friendly to everyone, he should avoid company of persons who are not spiritually advanced. Only option is left is like Prabhupada said, wherever you are, but you are following the regulative principle and following regulative principle, and you are associating with Bani, like your classes. We have all 7 days classes. Contaminated. As he said, that is, yeah. Because in this very predicament, only thing that this associating with this nearby, any nearby, like any other stuff. Yeah, that's why I'm telling Bani. Yeah, Bani Association. For 7 days, you have classes. Satyajit Prabhu have classes. Yeah. Distraction. Attention is not so rapt. Yeah, distraction is there. They can go to the temple, see the darshan. And, yeah. Yeah, that. Yeah, that is reflected in this one. What is that? Forget. Bhajanas.
My balance between online classes and see, occasionally nobody has period, nobody has nobody has that actually we are alone. How we work at
Yes, Prabhu is correct.
because you can't take yes, like yeah, see, even though we four people to come in the morning, how many people are regular? Not all of them.
Yeah.
So they have to be extra, like what, you know,
Personal mentor. Mentor, like, you know.
You are standing here. You show an example.
O my worshipable Lord, because the seed of lost desire, which is the root cause of material existence, is within the core of everyone's heart. You have sent me to this material world to exhibit the symptoms of it. Associate.
You know, but you say, not everybody can only read.
Yes.
You know, you read the book where you find it.
This is another thing.
You understand? So this is the issue that especially us, all over the world, some people come from just one how to the one lady I went to Mexico. How that you see, yes, we are only
Yeah. Prabhu, like the mentorship one, they have ISKCON also, they have like one mentor for 30 people or 50 people. Another one like this. Structure, yeah. Teaching is not structured. Yeah.
how do we, you know, we have an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially in my case, I go one time, then go again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even the one of the Prabhu Calcutta, he went to Calcutta, Rishi, Sanak Rishi. He was also telling like this. Now I am very drying up.
Not only him, also,
Yeah.
you know, Delhi, the people who are really
If you or Tatvit Prabhu can go, Mahaprabhu, periodically, you know. Periodically, then no, your influence important advanced devotee. So that would be mentoring them. Like when you are going, everybody is enthusiastic. This is only an option. If, as you told, that mentoring means only when you are going there, they are very enthusiastic.
online also, yeah, you know, not knowing about that.
No.
What he do is we don't we say yeah chanting, but how is he chanting? What's going on? That's why physical education is very important.
Yes.
Right? We have but education is very important. We have
like Finland. So he is associating with
trying to inspire them. Ultimately, they are physically
because he is alone there in Finland.
He is alone there, Finland. Swami Prabhu.
Coming on line. Actually, the God can be rectified. We have already wrong. This is our
Until we have a solid presence in any place, until we have a solid presence in any place, I think the thing that we can
way does not have to please.
Yes, that's what I am saying.
traveling was transient. After the person goes, it's gone. Maybe 1 week it is.
You go action complete. Please you what but for 1 month and it kept traveling. That's another thing. So create many other for training. Even that, you see how he left. Because only no, that's the when the spiritual one leaves.
I leave this was there.
Not that you can see the product. But that's the plan.
Almost alive. Only you should have a traveling team. Traveling team will be there. You are the best. I mean, what you are best motivated. Tatit Prabhu sometimes even you are here, Tatit Prabhu. Yeah, that's it.
After the field, so I ended up in Union Island.
I saw alone, no problem. No?
Today is the function that is so easy for Indian.
All the Western countries are
So you see how you have. It's not easy to keep calling everybody every day.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, taking it, putting the right people, how to get that. So, even you go to now, where they stay, where you stay over the India, the traffic jam is coming to
2 hours to go.
the traffic jam is coming
Yeah.
8 lakhs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ocean of thought. And
Ocean of. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Sthane Sthita Sutigatam. Sthane Sthita Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that recommended Sthane Sthita Sutigatam Tanumanu.
not everybody is like you can. You don't read. And most to most the can expect you something.
Yes, correct.
classic example of this.
Yeah.
This one is doing that.
Yeah. Correct.
You have to maintain that. Maintain that standard which somebody who is like
No. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Training is important. Yeah. Ball. Yearly, you are going 3 months. That is only saving grace.
now I'm here. But the training was
Yes. No, without training, it will dry up again. No, not possible.
yes. You can go. Go training. You do one thing, you take you on the second. Go.
Yeah, Prabhupada was telling that real Nityananda Sampradaya means, Nityananda Vansha means who risk preaching.
In fact, I find that unless
Even our raising fund also, you push only here.
an issue, I know it.
Mm.
So they say, so what like you cannot just go to that and go to that. That's you do every day. People don't notice. When they come to your friend, you don't know that the last time is strong, you don't know how to do it. That's what you will do. Or be friend with you when you come and be friend with you.
Exactly, they are asking first thing, who is your guru? And every day different guru. Sometimes guru name Sri Gopal. Yeah. Yeah. But how Prabhupada was maintaining during his time? Oh, Bengal, Calcutta. receiving also many sprinters.
They have to fight. Forget that. Nowadays, especially the world is so wide. It's just here. Easy.
Yeah.
Russia is falling. America is falling. Europe is falling. All over the map. There's a man on the Visvambhara, there's a-
Yeah.
like man from India.
Because they have a passport and all so many logistic.